What else did you see when you started looking at kind of the economics, the increases in revenues? And like, again, you look at it from a completely different perspective. And what do they say? Follow the money. I mean, the money doesn't ever lie.
Correct. So I did some back of the envelope math early. Well, you got to go back to 2021. Remember, the plan was quarterly boosters. And if you ran the math on that with some simple assumptions, I said Pfizer gets 50% of the global share. 5 billion, I assumed 5 billion people would be vaccinated out of the 7.5. And I found out what they were charging. And if they did, if quarterly boosters were the law of the land across the globe, that would take Pfizer's revenue to about 330 billion. They were 40 billion before COVID. In 2022, they did around 90 billion. So the plan was, and I think they were excited about it, and the stock started to discount that. Now it's not, but because, as we know, booster uptake is abysmal, and it wasn't rammed down as many people's throats as we thought it would be. That 330 billion, that's the prize. And if you don't think executives would bend rules to get that prize, well, I've been on Wall Street a long time, and I've said publicly to other people who have interviewed me, when I was at BlackRock, I sat across from CEOs all the time. I ran a $14 billion fund. I sat across from Fortune 500 CEOs. And my mindset was, when I went into the meeting, how are you going to lie to me today? And then that's how you have to, on Wall Street, that's how you have to think. How are you going to lie to me? And then you have to figure out, if there's truth, you watch body language, you watch, upticks, downticks. And looking at what was going on in 2021, I was horrified. There was then, the demonization of the unvaccinated. It was crazy time. And the prize was so big, and the money being thrown around to media by the pharmaceutical companies. We found out there was $1 billion in government money given to media companies to promote the vaccine. Once you started following the money, you realize what was going on. And again, I don't know if it was a conspiracy, but certainly a conspiracy of interest. There were 3 verticals that stood to gain, or 4 verticals. Technology was licking their chops at all the new surveillance technology that was coming their way. That's a new cash flow stream. So they decided, and the Twitter files have since shown, they conspired with government to suppress anything negative about the vaccine. Okay, so they had an interest. It was a new vertical. You had pharma companies, which were going to just, under the color of law, have a mandated product. So they had incentives to maybe ram the thing through, not look at safety signals, which we've proven there were safety signals that should have shut the trial down. It never should have been approved. So that's something that's going to come to light. Then we had media companies that were living off of pharmaceutical ad revenue streams, especially on the nightly news. And then we had government, politicians, money and power. And then the regulatory agencies, we've found 75% of the FDA's budget comes from pharma. There's the revolving door. The NIH gets, has hundreds of millions of royalty revenue. So it was a conspiracy of interest. That's what I know. Whether there was a bunch of maniacal men in a room drinking scotch laughing, I don't know. But there definitely was a conspiracy of interest. There was what we call institutional momentum. And it rolled over everybody. And you've been on, you're a Wall Street professional. Something called the institutional imperative, and Warren Buffett talks about this. It's where the C-suite doesn't act on the behalf and interest of the shareholders; they act on the behalf and interest of themselves. And that's often once the institutional imperative takes over, fraud becomes kind of accepted and endemic to an institution. Usually starts at the top, and the institutional imperative, we can clearly see at the FDA, the CDC, the NIH, the regulatory agencies that are supposed to watch out for the stakeholders, which are us, and they didn't. And at Phinance Technologies, we launched what's called the Humanity Project, where we have all the excess desks for the UK, all of Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, Germany. And we've also done an extensive deep dive into the disability data in the US. And we, in our mission statement, declare ourselves the watchdog of the watchdogs. And we're doing it all pro bono at the moment.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim, watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's of course been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.